Guys, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Apparently, no boys
and girls.
This
please.
show, please, because apparently this is not a family show. Those of you that are with us, babe, you want to kick us off?
Gosh.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, I will. Okay, so this is a very noisy chair. So if I move, it's not me farting because the film crew said it was like sounded like a fart. I can't hold still.
All right, get after it. Let's do this.
Are you touching my boobs? Okay.
Well, I'm trying to make it so that you're presentable, you know?
I had told a few of our viewers that today was going to be about blended families. Today we will not be talking about blended families.
We're going to. We'll do that eventually.
Eventually, yes. But Sean, he posted something yesterday. If you guys follow us on social media, you will see it. It was my butt. The silhouette of my bum.
We went on date night.
Side. And Lord,
we went on date night.
A ruckus.
Well, yes, it has caused a ruckus. but there's a very specific reason we want to talk about this today. Mm-hmm. This opens up a couple different conversations. Those of you that are on social media, pretty much every single one of you is on social media. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, but I posted a picture of Saxony and I on date night. And we went and floated in a sensory deprivation tank. And it was really cool. I don't remember, we were both naked getting into this 2-person tub sensory deprivation float tank. Mm-hmm. Those of you that are familiar with it, which, by the way, it's really fucking rad. Totally recommend every single one of you do it. It was the first time that I had done a 2-person float with someone. Yeah. I think it was the first time you did it too with somebody. We both floated before individually, but floating's awesome. Sensory deprivation tank is awesome.
Little asterisk though, even though you're naked with your person, don't have sex in there.
I wouldn't even want to.
Bad idea.
There's nothing about it that gets you aroused. I mean, yeah, you're sexy and you're fucking hot, but it's like salt. If you know anything about sensory deprivation tanks or float tanks, they basically put about 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt that creates buoyancy. And so what a sensory deprivation tank is, a float tank is when you get in, you lay down naked and you're laying in the water and there's so much salt in the water that you become buoyant. And the air temperature essentially regulates to the same as the water temperature. And so you feel like you're floating, hence float tank. So you're literally floating in water and you can do it for 30 minutes. You can do it for 60 minutes. It's extremely good. It started over, I think, in the tanks themselves in Europe someplace. But there's great medical benefits to it, emotional, psychological benefits to it. It's phenomenal. It's like a form of meditation. It's a form of therapy. It's a form of mental stimulation. It's a great thing. We both do it. Strongly suggest it. Highly recommend it. Okay. But when we were getting in, it was cool. You looked freaking hot as shit. It was awesome. Like you're in the pool and the whole thing. And I snapped a picture and it's great because maybe we can attach it in here. If you're watching it, maybe we'll put it right here someplace or whatever. Anyways, it's a sexy picture. Your hands are on your boobs. You're like side ass cheek kind of a thing. And then me with my shit-eating grin kind of a deal. Yeah. It's a great picture. And I posted it on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram and just said, date night. In fact, I'll read you my exact post. I said, date night, float tank for 2. Fellas, plan shit with your woman. Get the sitter, make the reservation, book the place, plan the date, don't just wing it. Put in the effort. You value what you invest in, so invest in your queen. P.S. Been floating lots, but for the first time floating in a 2-person tank, I highly recommend it. And the picture is as G-rated. You got half of my chest and, your side ass cheek, which if you've ever seen my wife in a bikini, it's that exact same side ass cheek. Yeah, if you've ever seen a bikini on a woman, there's a string that goes from the front to the back, and there's a piece that covers the ass, and there's a piece that covers the vagina on the front, right, babe? Did I just explain a bikini well?
You sure
Which
did.
Means your side of your ass and your leg, which is what you see here in this picture, is the exact same thing. And if you've ever seen a bikini top, they cover the boobies, and they're like this, and there's a string that goes in between the 2 boobs, and there's a string that goes up and around the neck and around the back.
God forbid you show your nipples.
There's no nipples in this picture, number 1. And number 2, there's no nipples in the bikinis, okay? The bikini covers your nipples, and you can see a little bit of boob in the sides and the top and the whatever, right? Absolutely very tasteful picture. It was really, really, really fun. Now, the reason we're bringing this up is there's a couple different things, so bear with us, okay? Number one, you obviously know on social media, the given is no matter what you say, no matter what you do, somebody's going to shit on in your bowl of Cheerios. It doesn't matter. I could post a picture of my dog. Somebody's going to say he hates cats. I could post a picture of your leg and I'm objectifying women and I'm encouraging rape and all kinds of dumb shit. There's stupid motherfuckers all over the place, okay? But here's what's interesting in posting this. There's obviously going to be those people that show up. 95% of the people read the message and get it. Like,
you think it's 95%? It's pretty generous.
I do. I truly do. Because if you read most of the comments, the ones that stick out the most are the assholes. It's how it always works. If you notice, there are very few people in this country that are truly confused on what bathroom to piss in. So there's only a couple of people in this country that are really fucking confused. They want to, a guy who wants to sit when he pees and he wants to go in the girls' bathroom. But 95% of people that are men use the men's room and women use the women's room, right? And this is just how it is. It's how everything is. You get the one person that sticks out and most people say, well, just ignore them, da-da-da-da. There's a reason we're bringing this up today, okay? Like, two things. Number one, a lot of you, I was this way for many years. I cared and worried and was concerned about those small opinions of people, right? Because that's typically what garners the most attention. Mm-hmm. People that are just like, thumbs up, good job, you look great, blah, 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 blah. But then that one person that's like, this is objectifying women, da-da-da-da. Those are the threads that end up being the biggest and they take over and everybody's fucking commenting on them. And literally, this post just over the last 24 hours, literally thousands of comments. And most of those comments are on the threads of the freaking shitbags, right? But here's why I say that is a lot of people hold back what they share because of that. Mm-hmm. Number one, like people will literally not post certain things. Maybe it's a spiritual thought. Maybe it's an emotional thought. Maybe it's a physical thing. Maybe it's an emotional thing because you're worried about that judgment. Yeah. And a lot of people hold that shit back. I did for many years. And I realized, and I've shared this very publicly, we've talked about this on the podcast, no matter what you share, people are going to judge. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in life, friends. Somebody's going to judge you, okay? Mm-hmm. Whatever you're doing right now, listening to this, if you're driving in your car, you're irresponsible and you shouldn't be listening to shit and you should just be paying attention to the road. If you're it doesn't matter. You're always going to be judged. If you're rich, it's because you're a snake oil salesman, right? Mm-hmm. If you're poor, it's because you're a lazy piece of shit. If you're fat, you're undisciplined. If you're ripped like us, it's because we take drugs and steroids, whatever. No matter where you go, people are going to judge you. Mm-hmm. So the first thought process with this is to understand that and to realize that, like, this is your fucking game. This is your life. This is your movie. This is a new chapter every single day. Share that shit. And if you feel so inclined to share your intimate life, share it. I'm not talking about sharing porn, but if you share your intimate thoughts, your intimate feelings, if you share your loves, your desires, your passions, share that shit, man. Mm-hmm. There's far more people that appreciated this post that didn't, okay? Number two, the second part of this. Babe, do you have anything you want to say to that?
Well, I'm going to talk about some of our hot girlfriends here
in a minute. Yeah. Well, let's get to my number two then.
Yeah,
first.
Let's get to your number two.
Number two, okay? I went on a fitness journey over the last couple of years for myself and went from like Captain Dad Bod to pretty fucking great shape.
Pretty fucking great shape.
For a 42-year-old, I'm in pretty great
for
shape.
A person.
For a human being.
For a man.
For a man.
You look great naked.
I'm in great shape and I look great naked. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, I know what it takes to get in shape. I know how hard it is to get in shape. And what's really fascinating is over the last couple of years, as I have taken my shirt off more, for a lack of better words, there's two types of people. There's the people that are saying, oh, dude, your kids watch this stuff. What does your daughter think when she sees you like on social media? Well, truthfully, my daughter sees that her dad is ripped and most of her friends' dads are not. Her dad is not normal. Her dad is not like everybody else. Her dad does things that other dudes aren't willing to do. Her dad is living an exemplary life in the sense that most people are fucking overweight. The majority of people, they're like our population, most people are overweight. So seeing their dad ripped, I am doing the game different. I am taking care of myself. I am honoring myself. But the second part of that is knowing that the people that truly applaud the most, the people that really are supporters, are people that know what it takes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the comments on pictures on my social media, a lot of the people that are fitness gurus, that are Instagram influencers, that are owners of supplement companies, that are really ripped, they're the first ones to applaud. They're the first ones to clap. They're the first ones to say, well done, because they know how fucking hard it is. Now, the average asshole who is sitting on his couch eating a bag of Cheetos, just flipping through, scrolling through, they're the ones that are going to hate. But here's why I want to address this, and I want you to talk about this, babe, because you mentioned our friends. Beauty is beauty. Like beauty is beauty, okay? Like you are beautiful. You have an amazing body. You work hard for your body. I work hard for my body. I can appreciate beauty. I can appreciate someone that has worked really hard on their body and has built themselves into something that they appreciate.
Right.
And there is not a goddamn thing wrong with celebrating that, with shining on that, with opening that entire world up. I was so afraid to take my shirt off for most of my life because I was fucking Captain Dad bod and I didn't look like the dudes with the six packs and I was embarrassed about it. I didn't like how I looked. And then all of a sudden I dig deep into my own mental reality and into my own life and change my patterns, change my life to now where I'm fucking ripped and I could take my shirt off. And it makes me feel really fucking good to be able to do that. And the people that have done that applaud and the people that don't. But as you look in the marketplace and you look around, it's really easy to see why people judge. It's really easy to see why people judge this. But it's also really, really, really indicative of our culture and our society. And this is what I want you to talk about. Like we are attractive people. I think I'm attractive. I think you're attractive. If you think I'm ugly, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. You think she's ugly, whatever. I don't care. I consider us very attractive people. And I honor and I celebrate that. And I celebrate the work that you do on your body. And when you feel proud about yourself, I feel proud about it. And I love to show people the possibility. And that's what I want people to really understand is like, when you take your shirt off and you're fucking ripped, you worked your ass off. If you're saying I'm gloating or I don't give a fuck. The truth is I built this and I'm proud as fuck of this. You built what you built. You built that sexy ass and I'm proud as fuck of that sexy ass. And so sharing that with my people, my tribe, my world, in honoring that, in taking a picture of me and you, two sexy ass human beings on date night, jumping into a freaking tub and floating. I'm proud as shit of that. I'm proud that we built what we built.
Right.
And what I want people to understand by this, and then I'm done talking for a minute, then you can talk. I want people to understand is that we're adults, okay? There are beautiful human beings on this planet. There are men and women that have worked very, very, very hard on their bodies, okay? Yeah, their minds and their souls and their spirits and the whole thing, great. But there are people that are just aesthetically beautiful. That are good-looking people.
Right.
You can look at a man and say, that's a good-looking man. Now, a little boy's going to go, what? Why would you say that? Like, oh, what does that mean? You want to go fuck him? A little boy's going to have that insecurity.
Yeah.
I look at you or I'll look at him and be like, yeah, he's a good-looking dude. And there's no scarcity around that because I'm a good-looking dude. It's the same thing. Like we have very, very, very attractive friends. We have friends that are fitness gurus who wear bikinis, who I can see their ass cheeks and I can see my buddy's wife's ripped abs. And I can look at that and say, that's an attractive human being. And the truth is that's real. Does that mean that I'm trying to go bone my buddy's wife? Nope. It means I'm a fucking adult.
Yeah.
It means I'm a grown-up. It means that I can cherish and I can appreciate and I can honor beauty in another human being. Like, I want you guys to hear me. Like, grow the fuck up. We need to grow the fuck up, okay? We need to grow as a culture and a society, as men and women. Grow the fuck up. Because if you're sitting here going, oh my God, I can't believe you would say that another man's wife is beautiful. She is beautiful, or he is good looking. That is truth.
Mhm.
And if you're somebody who's sitting on the sidelines judging that and judging someone else's appearance, you're a fucking child. You're literally like acting like a fucking child.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not even just about being a grown up and growing the fuck up. It's like, you know, you think about the people, it's like the glass half full or the glass half empty. That is literally this perspective of like, you're either going to see something and be like, wow, that's awesome. And see this, like, be grateful, like, oh, that's so great. They're celebrating themselves. They have worked hard. Like, or you can look at it with scarcity and being like, oh, they're showing off.
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh, they just want attention.
Narcissist.
And the truth is it's like, you get to decide whatever reality it is that, and you get to live with that. How do you really want to view the world? And you may be already doing that, like, she just has her butt out. Or, oh, you know, she's always showing videos of her in a bikini. Maybe she's motivating people. Maybe she's an Instagram fitness instructor who's motivating people to better their lives. How do you want to see that? Is she showing off, or is she doing something? Is she trying to make a difference and an impact in other people's lives? We have 2 girlfriends that I want to shout out, and both of them are named Casey. We have Buff Cookie, and we have
Cookie. Hashtag Buff Cookie.
I don't know, at Buff Cookie.
I
don't know.
Buff
There
Cookie.
could be some type of like fancy thing in there, but she's a total smoke show. So is Casey Fleischman, and she's Casey Loves Fitness. Yeah. These girls are always in their bikinis. And they have their booties out and their boobs out and their abs out. And these girls are stunning. And I love them. And they're married to dear friends of ours, amazing men. And every time I see them, I am excited that they're celebrating, you know, Buff Cookie.
Tell them about when we bumped into Buff Cookie the other day at the warehouse. Remember, we were on Instagram and we both like simultaneously saw her picture.
We both opened our Instagram at this event, and it was Buff Cookie, and her legs looked ridiculously
she just
amazing.
Looked hot. She looked super attractive.
Yeah, we walked into an event and she was right there, and I told her, I was like, "We just opened your thing," and she was like, "You know, we're like talking to her. Your legs are so hot," and she's like, "This is a woman who has 2 young little kids, and her whole thing is like." She shows up and she shows how she eats, and she shows her involvement with her children. Like, she's leading by example for other young moms that have young kids. And like, never have I been like, oh God, would she just put her fucking clothes on? She's so hot. And oh, I see Sean's liking her pictures. I don't operate like that.
Talk about that.
She's our people.
Right.
Neil, her husband is our people.
Right.
Like, this is our tribe. And we want to, these girls are doing something amazing. It is not easy to have a 6-pack after 2 kids. Lord, I know. And the fact that she's showing up, she makes these cute videos. Like, she puts a lot of effort into her TikTok. I don't even know how to do it, but I love watching them. Like, she shows up in a way that I'm like, I'm glad she's putting that out into the world.
Right.
Like, she's not doing it for attention. And the fact that you acknowledge it and I acknowledge it, we're just supporting her and her cause.
And I want you to like really emphasize that and talk about that, because that's huge. Like, I have had experiences in the past where that was not how it was.
Sure.
And if you like a picture of a girl in a bikini, you're a pig, you're this, like completely fucking out to lunch.
Well,
like
looking at things surface level.
Right.
If you want to see things as surface level, if you don't want to read the caption, if you don't want to look at like it deeper, if you literally just have this super scarcity mindset, you're so insecure, and you look at that and you're just like, ugh. And all you see is your husband liked it. You're fucked, dude. You're fucked, girls. Like, and vice versa. Like, we have very attractive male friends. Like, and I like their photos. Why? Because you do? For the same reason. I do. Like
their shirts off photos?
Well, it doesn't matter what
babe, what the fuck, man? I didn't know this.
You're so silly.
I'm offended by this.
You're so silly. But that's the thing. I mean, Adam always has his shirt off.
Yeah.
And I support Adam. He's our people. Like, and I'm pointing to Adam. He does all of our film and our editing for the show. He works hard also. And it's like having a tribe where you support it. Like, and I love that. And I want that to be the energy of our relationship. Right. And like, these are our people. There is no, I don't feel like I have to be possessive or have that mindset of like what you can and cannot do or how you can and cannot support the people in our space. Like that's toxic as fuck, people. So toxic. Casey Fleischman. I love her. Dude, she has the best booty in all of the land. She beats my butt.
Best booty.
She's good.
Casey,
good.
I love you, but you got the second best butt. You got the second best butt. I'm not talking about you, Ginger. Get the fuck out of here, Ginger.
No.
Jesus Christ. Casey Fleischman has the second best butt next to yours.
And I love her. She is married to Dan, who is a dear friend of ours. And I like every chance I can get, I'm just like, get it, girl. Work it, girl.
Right.
She spoke at Lions Den Live last time, and she got on stage, and her passion for fitness is so genuine and sincere. That girl is the furthest thing from flaunting in an arrogant way. There's no scarcity. There's no I need attention. She literally has a light and this almost like innocent joyfulness about her that she's so attractive and magnetic. And I would do anything to support her. She's beautiful and amazing. And I love the fact that she believes in fitness so much. She believes in nutrition so much. She got on stage and she was talking to your group about that. And it's like, I want to see these girls succeed. And the fact that they're showing the end all result in being in a bikini, doing their thing, like that's the perspective. See the bigger picture. Challenge yourself to see the bigger picture. Don't see it for just the surface value of it. Because if you have that mentality, you're going to miss out on every area of your life thinking like that. So shout out to you, fine women. And there's many, many more. Those are just the two that popped in my head.
One of the comments, and I was going to read some of the comments and share the kind of polarity with you, but there is a deeply rooted connectedness in our relationship that I don't think either of us has ever had in a relationship before, that might not exist in some other people's relationships, that causes some of this disconnect. They don't really understand it. But as a man, as a husband, as a man of a woman who's very attractive, there were a bunch of comments from women, believe it or not, that were like, oh, dude, you want guys jerking off to this picture and blah, 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 and all sort of stuff. Now, first of all, I'm not the jerk off police, okay? Who you choose to jerk off to, what you choose to jerk off to, completely up to you. For all I know, you're jerking off to my pictures too. I don't know, whatever. I don't really give a shit. But let me explain something. Like, I am extraordinarily proud of my woman, of the sexuality, of the passion, of the identity that you have. There's no scarcity in this. There's no scarcity. And I want you to hear this, guys. Like, when you honor your fucking woman, and a lot of guys, we struggle with sex, right? We want more sex. We want to be connected more. And there's a lot of scarcity. Like, let me tell you the mindset that I have. When I walk into a room with my wife, I want everybody to look at you. I'm not the dude who's like, yo, what you looking at, man? Why are you looking at my girl? Look, you should be looking. She's hot as fuck. If I'm you, I'm looking. Like, why would you not look? Fellas, like, step your game up. Like, real talk, step your fucking game up. This little boy bullshit, this little boy idea, like, yo, why are you looking at my girl? Yo, look all you want, bro. You want a picture? Fucking take a picture, because she is hot as shit. Like, this notion that fellas, we need to be these like insecure little fucking puppy dog little boys. Like, perhaps it speaks more to you of your insecurity. Perhaps 100%. It speaks more to you of where you stand, of your dad bod and your inability to freaking get your shit together, that you want to play small like that. Because the truth is, when I walk into a room, like, I got the hottest chick on my arm. Man, I don't need to question that. I don't need to look at that. Like, that's how I operate. That's where my mindset is. I want my woman to continue to elevate her mindset and her confidence. And so by me being supportive of that and walking into a room, posting a picture of my smoke show wife, there's no scarcity around that where I'm like, oh, dude, yo, why are you talking about my girl? Why are you looking at my girl? You understand that? Like, this idea and this level of scarcity exists in human beings. And I truly believe it's because you're insecure.
100%.
You're 100% insecure.
Yeah.
Because I can show up to an event and you can have the gown and the thing and be smoking fucking hot. And I'm like, yo, look, like I would be looking too because you're so fucking attractive. And I'm not saying that. I'm not. Well, listen, I'm being totally serious because this is a mentality that I struggled with for a long time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what are you looking at my girl for? Why are you like whatever? I'm in a place now, and I can post a picture on social media of you and I standing naked in front of a bath, like before we're getting ready to get in, and have supreme fucking confidence in that. Because I have supreme confidence in me and in you. And if some girl wants to be insecure and be like, you want guys jerking off to this picture? I don't care what they fucking jerk off to. I on the top of my to-do list today is not worrying about what guys are jerking off to. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I want men to understand that, like, when you can put yourself in a place of confidence, emotionally, psychologically, physically, when you have the ability to show up at the beach and take your shirt off and feel really fucking good because you worked your ass off for what you have, you naturally will elevate your woman. You will naturally support your woman. And I can tell you there's nothing more powerful for me in watching you grow than me growing.
Absolutely.
Me growing and me elevating me, like, it allows me to have this confidence in you where I'm not playing scared anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing little boy bullshit. Like, why are you looking at my girl, bro? That's little kid shit. That's little insecure baby boy shit. Mm-hmm. You want your girl to freaking thrive? You need to thrive. Yeah. You want your girl like rocking the hot body and feeling good about herself? You should perhaps do the same thing, fellas.
Right. And I want to talk about just nudity in general. Is there's such a stigma. There's such a stigma around being naked. I don't know where this came from. And of course there's like certain areas that's not appropriate, right? And there's certain like, you know, like when it comes to, you guys get it. I don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but like it is so empowering to be able to show up literally naked. And we talk about being naked emotionally, spiritually, in our relationship and physically naked. Like these are when you're at your absolute most raw and vulnerable. Yep. And if you can, so when I worked with coaching women and a couple birthdays ago, I did an event. It was like a goddess photo shoot because I handpicked a group of my girlfriends. And this was, maybe 3 years ago. I handpicked a group of my girlfriends, including my mother, and I rented the nicest suite in the nicest hotel we have here in Salt Lake City. And I hired this amazing photographer, and she came in when we did a boudoir shoot. And I brought in all my lingerie. I mean, all these women had to do is show up. And the whole reason is I wanted these women to experience what it felt like to feel truly as a goddess. And I know this is like a word that's thrown around a lot, this goddess energy, but like when you can stand there, regardless of what you look like you don't have to have a six pack to be beautiful naked. Right. You can, I mean, whatever you are, like there's an essence inside you of when you can just show up and be there. Like that's such a beautiful space to be. And I did this photo shoot. And I watched these women like come in, a few of them came in very, very hesitant and reserved, and they just blossomed. And they opened like, and then all of a sudden we couldn't get them to stop. It was just like, and this one, and this one, you know, and it was great because like I loved seeing that. And my wish is that every woman challenges themselves to that. And because once you've experienced that, you will see other women doing this is very different. And you didn't exploit me at all by putting the silhouette of my booty on social media, because exploiting comes from a totally different energy, a totally different angle. We literally we live very, very, very authentic. We don't, our lives on social media is very indicative of our real life. Yeah. We don't pretend we're something. We don't do things for attention.
Pictures, we're naked a lot.
We're naked a lot. And so I challenge you to do something and maybe like just question, why do I have such scarcity around other people posting these things? And maybe it's not you, maybe it's a friend, maybe you just, you see it out there too. And
Or your husband or your wife.
Or your husband or your
Why are you
wife.
triggered about
Yeah.
your girl being sexy or your man being sexy or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
and have them listen to this podcast, with you, or if you watch it and it resonates with you and you want to bring it back to them, because it's all perspective. It's all perspective.
Mhm.
So.
One of the things that I really encourage people to look at with this conversation too is you're going to be judged. We already talked about this. No matter what you do, you're going to be judged. Somebody's
Especially
gonna
you,
judge
Sean Whalen.
Hey, whatever. I mean, I'm used to it now. It's totally fine. But there is a real power that comes in getting you right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you mentioned naked, the word naked. It's, again, if you're an adult and you hear the word naked, you're like, ooh. You hear the word penis, oh, like, grow the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, grow the fuck up. But when you really think about being naked, like, I spent a lot of my life not naked.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of my life covered and covering things emotionally, psychologically, physically, because I was insecure. I spent a lot of my life with my shirt on at the beach because I was insecure physically of how I looked. I spent a lot of my life not naked with my woman because I was scared to be all in. I was scared to put my heart out there. I was scared to put myself out there. And when you really stop and think about it, I think that there's nothing more powerful that a couple can do than get really, truly, completely, utterly fucking naked with each other.
Masks off.
All of it.
All
like,
the masks.
Physically, this is why me posting a picture of my wife and her sexy ass holding her boobs, like, I love it. Like, I thrive. I'm like, dude, look at how hot we are. Like, look at how fucking good looking we are. We're on date night. We're doing this game. We're doing this shit. We're naked, like literally naked in front of the world. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, oh, dude, you need to save that, or this needs to be in private, or this needs to. I'm not talking about we're going to the
this
fucking
whole
place.
podcast is us getting naked too.
We're not going to some joint doing fucking porn or whatever. But being able to be naked, man. Like, there is something, fellas, listen to me. There's nothing more gangster that you can do. I don't care if you think you're like the biggest, baddest swinging dick in town. If you're Captain Macho, if you were Mr. fucking Alpha, like, it's really interesting is the guys who were like, oh, dude, I would never put my woman out there like that. I would never do this. Like, I want the world to see my woman naked. I want the world to see what you are, all of you. There's no scarcity around that. That's not objectifying. That's not pimping somebody out. But, like, you're a radically fucking powerful creature. And when people get to see that and experience that, it opens you up to a world that not very many of us have ever walked into. Yeah. And I truly believe that. And I'm not just talking about, oh, here you are naked in a magazine and I can see your titties and whatever. I'm talking about, like, ripping yourself open. Emotionally, psychologically, physically, talking about these things. You talk a lot about your eating disorder that you had for years and the boudoir shoots and all of these other things that truly empower people.
Being a shitbag single mom, teen mom, like these are things I own.
Right.
This is me being totally naked. And it makes me, like, when you own everything that you are, you get fully naked with who you are, you have nothing to hide anymore.
Yeah.
And it is the most freeing, beautiful way of living. You are light. You are joyful. Oh my God. Like, I don't literally let it be out there.
It's interesting.
It is what it is.
We're both like that. It's like, I've said this though.
Up together, my dear.
I've said this though a lot too. Like, when you think about what are people, if you're listening to this, most people's fear, a lot of people's fear, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people's fear is like, they have nightmares of what? Standing in front of the class naked, right? How many people have ever had a nightmare where you're naked in front of the class? Well, think that through for 2 seconds. Like, this is something that you fear. This is something that you're, like, morbidly afraid of. You pray it never happens. You like, hope never comes down your path. But is there anything more liberating? Is there anything more empowering? Is there anything more powerful? Than literally standing in front of the class naked? Because now you're all there. Yeah. Everything's there.
There you go.
Now you know what I'm playing with. Like, think this through for 2 seconds, friends. Imagine that for just literally hear what I'm saying. in your relationship. Imagine literally just standing in front of your woman completely fucking naked. And I'm not just talking about your dick swinging in the wind. I'm talking about all fucking in. You're standing in front of that class and everything's there. You're truly naked. Now everyone knows what you're playing with. Like, it's the most liberating thing ever. Because now there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to lie about. There's nothing to deceive. There's no masks that you need to wear. Imagine standing in front of the class. Imagine standing in front of your woman or your man, stripped butt-ass naked down. It's all right there. A lot of people view that as weakness. A lot of people are terrified of that. I would have you consider for a second that there's probably nothing more liberating, powerful, profitable that you could do in your life than getting butt ass naked.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. And I feel like that's just who we are. And so getting naked is like easy. I don't know. We just get naked. It's fine. It's funny because I was reading through the comments on that too. And I want to talk about comparison. It's basically, this podcast is like perspective and comparison. We get all this feedback on, oh, well, I wish my spouse would do that. I wish my husband would go and do that. I wish my wife would look like that. And it's like, to get on social media and to talk some shit about your partner, what the fuck? Like, what's your angle? What are you trying to accomplish with this? Like, oh, I wish my husband would do that. How about this? Why don't you do what you want your husband to do? And I know we've covered this on multiple episodes so far, but be the fucking change. Be what you want. Model the behavior. Don't keep score. It's like, if your husband's not doing date night, then you do date night, girl. No excuses. It is not his job to do it. You do it. Just because Sean does it doesn't mean I don't do it. Like, that is the biggest crock of shit. I hate reading those posts. I don't hate reading those posts, but I want to be like, whoosh. Be that then. And why would he want to if you're just sitting around griping about how bad he sucks? Think about this. Hello? So yes, like, comparison is terrible. And you don't compare it to us. Like, we broke up. It is not all sunshine and rainbows. Like, we've had shitty times. We've had amazing times. But the difference is that we keep showing up for something better. Yeah. We keep challenging ourselves to be better. I don't challenge him to be a better husband. I challenge myself to be a better wife. Therefore, you then see, like, I have a valuable wife who shows up for me and she does things for me that makes me feel good. And you know what that does? That makes you subconsciously, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I assume I'm right, is that makes you want to be a better husband because you're grateful for me. You see that I bring joy to your life and happiness and I carry weight and I take care of things that, like, need to be taken care of. Therefore, you don't have, your load is not as heavy. It's like, there's this whole mentality of that your husband or your wife owes you something is so toxic. Yeah. And you're carrying that around. So you already have a chip on your shoulder. And they're like, how do you think you're going to connect like that? Yeah.
You went off on this earlier today. For those of you listening, like, as we were contemplating and we kind of changed courses on what we wanted to talk about, there were multiple people that were like, I've been married X amount of years and I've never even been on a date night, or it must be nice, or, I wish my man would do this, or I wish my wife would do this. And it's just like, imagine getting into a public spectacle like that and just trashing the person that you're sleeping next to, trashing the person that you're married to, that you're purporting to love. You know what I mean? There comes an accountability and a responsibility where it's like, yo, you need to become what it is. And you said it best earlier. Like, if he's not taking you on a date night, then you get your ass up and you fucking take him on a date night. You know what I mean? You show the way. You show the game, right? I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, you have to become what it is that you want. Like, you want to be in that mental space. You've got to get yourself into that mental space. Like, you want to be able to have a confident relationship where you can both be literally physically, emotionally, psychologically naked with each other, then you've got to get there, man.
Mhm.
You've got to be able to do that. Fellas, you got to
Yeah.
put down the pride and the ego
Yeah.
and realize that vulnerability, nakedness is a true superpower. And I promise you get naked with your woman, there's nothing more that correct me if I'm wrong, baby. There's nothing more that a woman wants than you to just take off the fucking mask and get naked.
Oh, yeah.
Just give me the game. Give me the whole thing.
Well, if you look at feminine and masculine energies, women, the feminine wants to feel safe. And part of feeling safe is being able to see that there's this honesty and integrity and vulnerability in their partner. And that will open up a woman more than you won't even believe what she's capable of in your relationship when you provide that type of rawness and realness and not this macho ego bullshit. It's so unattractive. It's so unattractive. And you'll honestly build the most beautiful relationship ever when you start just getting very, very vulnerable and open with her.
Naked. The word is naked. When you get very naked.
Naked.
Yeah.
Yes. We've gotten naked a lot.
We do get naked a lot. Not only physically, but in lots of other ways.
We kind of just stay naked though. Once we got naked, we didn't really put our clothes back on.
Ginger's getting all hyped up by this conversation.
I get naked, shot around.
He's like,
guys. So listen, I'm glad that we changed courses and we had this conversation.
yes, blended families coming.
And I pray that you guys got some value out of this. But I truly want to emphasize to you, like, there is a war on this. There's a war on socially, in our religion, in our culture, this like just masking up, protecting yourself, holding everything close to the vest, not celebrating, beauty, not celebrating these wins and people's accomplishments. And I'd have you consider for a second that perhaps that's totally wrong. Mm-hmm. Perhaps for a second that's actually what's causing us so much disconnect, so much pain, so much frustration is keeping these masks on. Like me not being able to say to my good buddy's wife, like, you absolutely look fantastic, well done on what you're doing, and celebrating that and not having some third party extracurricular, like, whoa, what is he really saying? And no, dude, like beauty is beauty. Work is work. Wins are wins. Like celebrate that shit.
Winners celebrate winners.
100%.
There is enough success to go around.
Yep.
There is no scarcity in success. There's no scarcity in love. And it doesn't run out.
Yeah.
So the more you win and you celebrate winners, the more you will then win.
100%.
The more, it's just the more you love, the more life will love you back. Mm-hmm. It just will. It is a never ending resource.
And I promise you too, like when you're around people that think like this, it's not weird, man. I didn't share the Andy story.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I got to give a shout out to my buddy Andy Frisilla and his wife Emily. Beautiful people, great, amazing people. They work their fucking asses off, and we'll finish with it unless you want to have another story.
We'll finish with Emily because she's fabulous.
She's amazing. Emily is an absolute stone-faced killer in business. Mm-hmm. She's an amazing woman, and she's ripped. She works her ass off.
She's the best dog mom.
She's the best dog mom ever. I was at Andy's house 2 years ago, whatever, and walked into his office, and there was this picture of an ass with these guns, like hands behind, and there's two guns, and it was just this really cool, erotic, sensual, really sexy looking picture. And like me and like three other guys walked into Andy's office, and we all kind of stopped and looked at this picture, and Andy, and it was just an amazing picture. And Andy's like, "Yeah, that's Emily." And we're like, well played, bro. Like, that's a fantastic picture. Like, Emily's got an amazing ass. The picture looks fantastic. The guns are great. And it's just like, hats off. Like, we're all like applauding, like, great job. This is freaking amazing. And it's stuff like that when you can realize that there is so much beauty in people's beauty, and being able to celebrate with them and applaud that. Like, there's no scarcity, man. It doesn't make you a weirdo. It doesn't make it crazy. It makes you actually fucking human and real versus lying and pretending and masking shit up. You know what I mean? So anyways, hats off to Andy and Emily for amazing picture. I don't think that picture was supposed to be there, but we saw it, and hats off, squats for the win. You know what I mean? Which, by the way, babe, everybody was applauding your derriere. Because you've been doing a lot of squats. You've been working out hard.
Squats are my thing.
Good job.
Thanks.
Don't quit.
I won't.
All right, guys.
I'm a professional booty
Get
builder.
naked as much as you want. Post it on social media. What the fuck ever. You know what I mean? God bless America.
We love you guys.
Thank you. See you later next time. Bye.
Bye.